morning. It feels great to be back. Thank you so much for your prayers and your love that has been extended to my wife and I during this sabbatical time where I've chosen to be responsible and take care of my good thing. And so, good morning to each and every one of you. Good morning. Good morning. This week is going to be a significant week. We're introducing a subject. I guess it's safe to say reintroducing a subject that we have leaned on and looked at before. We've leaned on, looked at before. And so, Maria, the term unlearning, Coach Deborah, that's what we're focusing on this week. The question is, what do I need to unlearn? Yeah. Let's kick it off with that. I'm not going to be before you long this morning. What do I need to unlearn? There is so much we have literally committed ourselves to that we should no longer be doing. There's so much to the point, and we're going to talk about that this week. There's so much that we say, that's just me. Jamal, that's just me. That's just me. Well, Coach, I've been doing it that way for a long time. I've been doing it that way for a long time. And not because you've been doing it that way for a long time, not because that's what you're accustomed to, mean it is right. So this morning, I want us to dive into this whole idea of thinking. What do I need to unlearn? Okay, what do I need to unlearn? So here's what I want you to focus on today. Question the assumption. The assumption. Where did the assumption come from? Well, I'm just not good at that. Where did that come from? Where did that come from? Well, money is something I'm just not good at. I'm just not a talker. I'm just not a people's person. I get angry sometimes. Just guess what? My anger gets the control of me so much. Early on, my mother told me my anger would get me in trouble. My father told me my anger would get me in trouble. Oh man, I found myself getting in a lot of trouble in school because of my anger. Oh man, I cannot do without. I cannot do it. Well, a lot of people can, but I know I can't. And here's the deal. When you understand that unlearning, write this down, unlearning is harder than learning. Let me say that again. Pastor Clay, you hear that? Unlearning is harder than learning. Because now what you have to do is, watch this. Now what you have to do is you have to recondition. And most people, the work that they literally put into effect to become conditioned in that way, they're not prepared to go and unroot, tear up, destroy, literally do the heavy lifting to get to that better place, to stop doing what they know that's not good for them. Unlearning, write that down. Unlearning is harder than learning. The challenge we have is once we've become aware of a thing, we start reinforcing the thing that we've become aware of as the standard truth. In other words, no one can tell me anything. Okay? No one can tell me anything. Here's the challenge with the idea, no one can tell me anything. What happens? What happens, ladies and gentlemen, when it's not working for you? When it's what? Hey, Miss Cynthia, what happens when it's not working for you, but yet you're still owning up to it? That's just the way it is, Miller. Miller, that's just the way it is. And I'm telling you today, it don't have to be that way. It don't have to be that way. That's why vision is important. That's why vision is important. Because you could have become accustomed to a way. But once you get a vision, a vision of something that may have never been before, something you've never seen done before, but yet you're still inspired to do. Somebody ought to shout, this boy is going in deep this morning. I'm trying to help somebody. You've got to challenge yourself with the assumption, question assumptions. Where did that come from? Okay? Question, why do I do that? Why is that my safe place? What has made that my go-to? What has made that my go-to? Why am I so insecure? Why am I so defensive? Why am I owning up to something that I don't even have to own up to? Well, all women act that way. Why can't you be the exception? Well, he's a black man. Why can't you be the black man that is the exception? Well, at this age of my life or at this stage of my life, question, why am I sticking with that? Man, I've always lived paycheck to paycheck. Question the assumption. Can that change? Of course it can. Of course it can. It could change and it will change when you stick around this effective living community. We're going to start our effective living ambassadors. I'm going to do an in-person class once a month. I'm going to do an in-person class. I'm going to try that out for the rest of this year, starting in June. And we're going to do a class in person. A lot of people aren't going to make it. Some people are. But what we're going to do is, for those who are committed to wanting to be in those in-person class sessions, what I want them to do is, and for people who want the content virtually, I'll send it to them virtually, okay? But what we're going to do is, we're going to take the time and sit down and dissect where we are. You no longer need to stay where you were when where you were weren't the best for you. You've got to realize there is better. There is better. And what you want to do is you want to figure out, how can I become better so God could be glorified? Don't stick with the same thing that's not working for you. Make the adjustment. You have to make the adjustment. And that's why unlearning is a part of living life effectively. Write that down. Unlearning is a part of living life effectively. So this week, we're going to break down this whole dynamics of the route to establishing a healthy process of assessing where you are, identifying what's not working, and small practical tips on how to adjust your behavior so your life can work for you. You have to unlearn what you should have never learned. You have to unlearn what you should have never learned. You have to unlearn what once worked, but it's no longer working. Well, I've done it for a long time, and it got me here, Miller. It got me here. But here's the challenge. Here's the challenge. Megs, here is the challenge. Okay? Miss Jocelyn, here's the challenge. It's not going to get you there. It got you here, but it's not going to get you there. And so what you have to do is you have to unlearn what you should not have learned, and you have to unlearn what no longer works. Unlearning is a part of effective living. I love and appreciate each and every one of you guys. We're going up together. Okay, we're going to continue to get better with age, and we're going to make sure our lives are working for us. I want to work in this season. I want to work with people who are okay doing the work. I want to work with people who aren't interested in making excuses for where they are when they know where they are is not where they should be. There is better. There is more. There is a way that is producing more of what God desires for me to produce in the earth. But I have to get past what has kept me where I've been for so long. That's called unlearning. I'm going to have to unlearn. Oh, I'm shy. We're going to get past that. Oh, one of the things is I'm just not a people's person. We're going to get past that. Okay, we're going to look into that, and you may never be a master at a lot of things, but it doesn't mean you can't get better at those things that you may never be a master at. So all I'm saying to you is you got to keep it real. I don't know about you, but the goal is not to fit in. The goal is to stand out. The goal is to become all that God has created you to be. Do not settle. Do not settle. When you look at this declaration, when you look at saying these words on a daily basis, you got to ask yourself, am I in alignment with what I'm saying? When you read the book, when you read this book, Effective Living, when you read this book, you start thinking, am I in alignment with what I've just read? Well, I'm going back over the book. This summer, I'm prepared to help some people. So we're going to do an in-person masterclass. It's Effective Living Ambassadors coming together. And we're going to spend about an hour and a half. And we're going to break down constructively our own lives. The people in those classes, the people who will commit to saying, I want to be in the class virtually because I can't get there in person, but I want to be a part of it. We're going to stream it for those people. And what we're going to do is, guys, and it's going to be a limited space. It's not going to be for everybody, okay? Everybody can't take this right now because I'm realizing we're so overloaded with content that people let it get in one ears and they let it go the other ears when it's not about just content collection. It's not about content. That's why I say learning is not the key no more. The key now is unlearning. The key now is unlearning, figuring out how to now stop doing what you should never have started doing, how to identify what is not working and how to stop it. Okay, how to stop it. So we're coming up together. We're going to grow. We're going to go and we're going to advance in a way that God is going to be glorified. Now, here's the deal. That's going to push you out of your comfort zone because the next season of my life, I want it to be the best season of my life. There's always room for improvement. And the people who are committed to living a life of constant improvement, they're going up with me. We're going up together. Let's do this. Okay? Have a great day. It's going to be a phenomenal week. And I'm going to show up. We're going to make these classes happen. They're virtual. And these sessions are going to be focusing on this week, unlearning. What is it that I need to unlearn that I should have never learned? And what is it that I need to unlearn that is no longer working because I don't want to stay where I am? Where I am may not be bad, but it's just not where I should be. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. God bless you. Bye-bye.